If you're considering flirting with a woman at work, it's essential to first ensure there's a mutual interest or attraction. Taking the right steps early on can make a big difference in how your interactions are perceived. Start by fostering a connection through confidence, charm, and lighthearted humor during your conversations. When she begins to feel drawn to you in these ways, this can happen quite quickly, she may feel more comfortable engaging in playful or subtle flirting. Why is this important? Women are more at ease interacting in a flirty manner with men they find appealing, whereas they often feel awkward or disinterested flirting with someone they view strictly as a friend. If your coworker sees you only as a friend or colleague without any romantic or physical interest, attempts to flirt may not be well received. In some cases, it could even lead to misunderstandings or awkwardness in the workplace. Liking someone on a personal level isn't the same as being attracted to them romantically. If she doesn't see you in that light, she's unlikely to respond positively to any flirtatious behavior. Before initiating any form of flirting, it's crucial to gauge her level of interest. Failing to do so could create unnecessary complications in your professional environment. Always prioritize mutual respect and clear boundaries. Making her feel a connection before you start flirting. Creating a spark of attraction before engaging in flirtation is crucial. There are many ways to make a woman feel interested in you, such as showcasing confidence, demonstrating charisma, earning the respect of others in her presence, or using humor effectively. It's important to remember that trying to flirt with someone who doesn't feel any initial attraction may lead to discomfort or rejection. She might even ask you to maintain a more professional demeanor if the situation warrants it. If you persist with flirting despite her lack of interest, it could escalate to her seeking assistance from coworkers or even involving a supervisor. To avoid this, focus on fostering attraction first. Establishing mutual interest is key. It's such an essential point that it bears repeating. Make sure there's a connection before you proceed with flirtation. Examples of how to flirt with a woman at work. Once you've established that she feels a level of attraction toward you, you can start engaging in some lighthearted and playful flirting. A great way to begin is by using subtle body language cues. This approach allows you to gauge her response and see how receptive she is in a relaxed, natural way. Example 1. Use a subtle sexual smile. To use the subtle sexual smile to flirt with a woman at work, simply do the following. Allow yourself to feel confident in the moment while talking to her. Hold eye contact with her and smile in a confident, easygoing way. In your mind, assume that she likes you, and then use that confidence to smile at her in a confident, subtly sexual way. When she holds eye contact and smiles back at you, maintain eye contact for 3-4 seconds while continuing to smile as she talks to you. When you use the subtle sexual smile, she will then either look away in a submissive way, a good sign, look puzzled, usually just to test your confidence, or might ask you something like, "What are you smiling about?" To which you can reply, while smiling and saying the following in an easygoing, confident way. If she likes you and wants to flirt with you, she will become shy, smile, laugh, and show you that she enjoyed the compliment. If she wants to keep things professional and doesn't want a workplace romance, she might get weird about it and ask, "What do you mean?" Simply smile and reply in an easygoing way. Talking to you makes me smile because you're not only a beautiful woman, but you're also very intelligent and you do a great job here. It's a pleasure to be working with you. She will then be impressed at the fact that you've not only remained confident, this will be attractive to her, but you also have the social intelligence to be professional in a situation like that. If she is the type of woman who will need you to be discreet about your workplace romance, she will be impressed that you don't get flustered and panic when under pressure. Whatever you do, just make sure that you continue to display relaxed confidence and be easygoing about the whole thing. Confidence is sexually attractive to women. And if you display nervousness and self-doubt, you will not only turn her off, but you will make the interaction feel awkward. Example 2. Compliment her so often that it becomes funny. Flirting with a colleague in the workplace requires a more discreet approach than in social settings like bars or nightclubs. In those casual environments, it's common to be more direct and expressive, such as confidently saying, "You have such a great energy, I really like you," after sharing a laugh. However, professional settings demand tact and subtlety to ensure the interaction remains respectful and doesn't cross any boundaries. Instead of openly expressing romantic interest, focus on creating a friendly, upbeat dynamic while subtly sparking mutual attraction. This can be done through light-hearted and playful interactions that make the other person feel good. Here are a couple of examples of how to inject humor into compliments while keeping the tone light and professional. About her coffee cup? I have to say you've got an amazing eye for coffee cups. That off-white color, truly iconic. About her desk. You're like my workplace role model. Your desk is so neat and organized, while mine looks like I'm running a chaos experiment. Key tip: smile warmly when delivering these comments to ensure they are received in the fun, light-hearted way you intend. More importantly, cultivate a positive and easygoing personality at work. A consistent approach helps avoid any misinterpretation, especially if your workplace demeanor tends to be serious or overly critical. If you typically come across as too serious, sarcastic, or negative, attempts at humor or compliments may be misunderstood as teasing or insincere. To avoid unnecessary drama, keep interactions positive, light, and professional. Balancing a sense of humor with a reliable and effective work ethic ensures that colleagues are comfortable around you and appreciate your playful side. Ultimately, maintaining a cheerful and approachable attitude in the workplace benefits everyone, helping to create an enjoyable, productive environment while leaving room for respectful, subtle connections. Example 3. Flirting with body language. Flirting can be incredibly subtle, especially when you use your body language to communicate your interest. The goal is to keep things professional while adding small hints of attraction. For instance, let's say you're working in an office with a woman you're interested in. You can still maintain professional body language, but when interacting with her, you can subtly incorporate flirtatious gestures. When you notice her responding positively, give her looks that show your interest without being overt about it. One specific body language technique to signal attraction is what I call the tongue-on-tooth expression. It's a small but cheeky gesture. You place the tip of your tongue on the second-to-last back tooth. It's a playful move that signals to the woman that there's a private, flirtatious connection forming. You don't need to say anything. The body language does the work. If she notices and asks, you can smile and say, "Oh, Just a little smile. This lets her know you're aware of the attraction and the dynamic between you two without explicitly saying it. Example 4. Escalating flirting outside of the workplace. Now, when the tension between you and a woman starts to build, at some point it needs to be released, ideally outside the workplace. If you're both flirting at work, it's important to take the next step when the time is right. For example, you might suggest going out for drinks after work or attending a sports event together. When meeting up, make sure to keep the flirting alive by giving her a compliment that shows you're interested in more than just a friendly conversation. Instead of just saying, "You look nice," you could say something like, "You look amazing today. Are you ready for the game?" This adds an element of flirtation and physical connection, like a high five or a casual touch. It's important to remember that some workplaces are more relaxed about coworker relationships than others. If your environment is more formal, you may need to be discreet about your intentions. If you're in a more casual setting, feel free to let the flirtation flow a little more freely. Once you step outside the workplace, you have more freedom to escalate the interaction. At a bar or a social gathering, for example, you can break the physical touch barrier by putting your arm around her waist or lower back, initiating a more intimate connection. I've done this before myself. At a work event, I had a moment of flirtatious banter with a coworker. Then we stepped outside for some fresh air. It was a subtle transition, but once we were alone, things quickly escalated into a kiss, as we had already built a comfortable level of attraction. Example 5. Flirting is the shortcut. Flirting is a powerful tool when it comes to creating sexual tension and building attraction. Once you get the hang of flirting, whether through body language, playful banter, or subtle gestures, you'll begin to notice that most women will respond positively. You'll feel more confident, and attracting women who were once out of your league will start to feel natural. Remember, it's not about being overt or using cheesy pickup lines. It's about understanding the dynamics of attraction and learning how to use flirting to build connection. Once you master these skills, you'll find that women are more drawn to you, and you can navigate relationships and interactions with ease. Flirting truly is the shortcut to attracting women. Once you understand how to flirt, you'll see the difference it makes in the way women respond to you. You'll go from feeling unsure to confident, and from attracting women you never thought you could to building meaningful connections with them. Do not flirt with her via email. A common misstep some men make in the workplace is trying to flirt with female colleagues through email instead of having face-to-face interactions. While this might seem like a safer or easier option, it's actually one of the worst approaches for two key reasons. 1. Emails can easily be misunderstood. When you send an email, the recipient doesn't have the benefit of seeing your facial expressions, body language, or hearing the tone of your voice. This means she has to guess your mood and intentions, which can often lead to misinterpretation. If your message contains playful or suggestive remarks, they might come across as inappropriate, disrespectful, or unprofessional. Depending on her personality, she might feel uncomfortable or even see your comments as problematic. This could lead to workplace issues, such as complaints to management or HR, or even negative gossip about you among colleagues. The best way to engage with a coworker you're interested in is to talk to her directly. Face-to-face conversations allow her to pick up on your tone and demeanor, which helps her understand your intentions more clearly. If you rely on email because you're nervous about speaking to her in person, it increases the risk of misunderstanding. Worse yet, she might interpret your hesitation as a lack of confidence, which could make her less interested in you. 2. Emails don't create genuine attraction. Attraction is often sparked during real-life interactions where confidence, charisma, and personality can shine. Email exchanges, even with emojis and light humor, usually generate only mild interest at best. For instance, if you come across as fun and flirty in your messages but seem anxious or unsure of yourself when speaking to her in person, it could diminish her interest. She'll notice the disconnect between your online persona and your real-life behavior, which can make her lose trust or attraction. If you want to build genuine rapport and attraction with a coworker, focus on confident, respectful, in-person interactions. This approach not only reduces misunderstandings, but also helps establish a stronger, more authentic connection. In summary, flirting via email may seem convenient, but it often leads to misinterpretations and missed opportunities to create real connection. If you want to make a positive impression, step away from the keyboard and engage with her in person, confidently and respectfully. 5 mistakes to avoid when flirting with a woman at work. Flirting with a coworker can feel effortless when you're naturally confident, approachable, and have a light-hearted sense of humor. If that describes you, most people are unlikely to take issue with your friendly banter or the positive energy you bring to the workplace. As long as you maintain a professional attitude and excel in your role, colleagues and even management will likely appreciate your ability to create a cheerful and enjoyable work environment. However, if you don't naturally convey this kind of demeanor, you might unknowingly fall into one of these common mistakes. 1. Pushing too hard too soon. When flirting with a woman at work, it's important to be subtle and allow the attraction to develop naturally over time. Unlike meeting someone at a bar, where you can flirt and even kiss within a short period, workplace dynamics require a much more relaxed and patient approach. If you notice a woman showing interest in you, resist the urge to act immediately. Avoid asking her out on a date right away. Instead, let the tension build gradually between the two of you. This could look like her making an effort to be around you more often, engaging in playful banter, or casually asking about your plans for the weekend. Once these signs are clear, it's best not to directly ask her out on a formal date. Here's why. Many women in professional settings are cautious about dating a colleague. They may fear awkwardness or embarrassment if things don't work out, especially around their coworkers. To keep things comfortable and avoid putting her on the spot, instead of suggesting a date, invite her to hang out outside of work. This approach is less pressure-filled. You could ask her to join you and some friends for drinks after work. Invite her to a casual house party, or even suggest a gathering at a friend's barbecue over the weekend. This way, you're creating an opportunity for the two of you to spend time together in a laid-back setting, without the formality of a traditional date. 2. Believing that kindness will make her attracted to you. Just because a woman is friendly or pleasant with a man doesn't automatically mean she's romantically interested in him or wants to pursue anything more. Similarly, being kind or friendly to a woman doesn't spark the feelings of attraction or desire that are necessary for a romantic connection. While there's nothing wrong with treating a woman with respect or being friendly, especially in a work environment, unless your behavior triggers feelings of attraction in her, she's likely to view you only as a colleague or a friend, not as a romantic prospect. 3. Using the workplace as a test environment for flirting. If you're considering using your workplace as a testing ground for flirting with women, rather than approaching them in social settings outside of work, it's important to understand that this is generally not a good approach. Unless you're someone who is naturally skilled at attracting people with your personality, whether through confidence, charisma, humor, or charm, and you are well liked and respected by others, trying to pursue romantic interests at work can easily backfire. If you're already comfortable with engaging women outside of work and know how to spark attraction, then you may feel more at ease flirting in the office environment. However, if you struggle to make women feel drawn to you outside of work, your best course of action is to first focus on developing your ability to attract women in other settings. Whether it's at a bar, a social gathering, or a party, these places offer more relaxed opportunities to practice and hone your social skills. Once you're confident in your ability to make women feel attracted to you, they'll naturally be more receptive to any subtle flirting you might do in the workplace. At that point, suggesting a casual meetup after work or inviting her to join you at a social event over the weekend will be a much more comfortable and successful approach. She'll be excited about the idea and may be hoping to spend more time with you. 4. Being sleazy. When flirting with a colleague, it's important to remain classy and discreet, as many women fear becoming the subject of negative rumors at work. Most women in the workplace aim to preserve their professional image, but are open to subtle flirting, provided you first make them feel a genuine attraction. However, even if a woman is attracted to you, she is unlikely to openly show signs of interest when others are present. This is because she may worry about how such behavior could affect her career prospects or standing within the company. Therefore, it's crucial to keep things understated, like using a subtle, flirtatious smile, and continue to create an atmosphere of attraction without being overt. If you both attend after-work gatherings or you invite her to have a drink one-on-one after the workday ends, she may feel more comfortable letting the flirtation progress, possibly leading to a more intimate connection, such as kissing. 5. Telling everyone how you feel about her. If you want to be seen as a confident, attractive guy who earns the respect of others and catches the attention of women, avoid constantly sharing how you feel about the woman you're interested in with everyone around you. Instead, trust in your own ability to attract her without needing help or validation from others. If a guy doesn't first make the woman feel drawn to him and then starts asking others, "I really like her. What should I do to show her my feelings? Should I ask her out?" It might be an amusing topic for some to discuss, but it's not going to make her think, "Wow, he's so brave," or "What an impressive guy." Rather, she will often distance herself, maybe even denying any interest and laughing it off with others just to protect her image and avoid appearing attracted to someone who doesn't have the confidence or presence to approach her on his own. Are you ready to do it? As we wrap up this video, let's take a moment to recap the key points we've covered and dive into why flirting, when done correctly, is such a powerful tool for creating attraction. First, we explored the concept of building a connection through subtle and playful flirting. I shared the story of my friend Dinesh, who didn't just talk to a new coworker in a neutral, professional manner, but instead made an effort to add a flirtatious element to their interactions. His approach wasn't loud or overt. He used playful teasing, body language, and little gestures, like the note with the compliment about her jacket. These small but significant acts of flirtation created a private, personal world between them. They shared an inside joke, a playful back and forth, and slowly, the chemistry built until it led to something more. Her smiling, their drinks after work, and eventually, a relationship. The key lesson here is that flirting doesn't need to be explicit or obvious. It's about creating a connection, one that's subtle, fun, and often based on body language rather than words. You don't need to throw notes back and forth or be overly bold. As we discussed, using small gestures like a cheeky smile, subtle touches, or a playful look can send powerful signals of attraction. Then, we went deeper into how you can use your body language to flirt in a professional setting without crossing boundaries. Body language is often the most understated form of flirting. Simple actions, like maintaining good posture, making eye contact, or even a slight lean towards someone, can express interest without you ever needing to say a word. For example, the tongue on tooth expression, though small, is a cheeky way to signal attraction in a very subtle way, one that she will definitely pick up on if the attraction is mutual. This kind of discreet communication is what allows you to maintain professionalism while still creating that private world where flirtation can thrive. We also discussed the importance of knowing when to escalate the flirtation, particularly outside the workplace. At some point, when the sexual tension starts to build, you need to move beyond simple banter and take the next step. Whether it's suggesting drinks after work or inviting her to a mutual interest event like a sports game, the key is to make the transition natural. Once you're outside the office, the rules change a bit, and this is where the physical side of flirting can really start to develop. Now, let's talk about why this approach works. The main reason flirtation is such a potent tool for attraction is that it creates something unique, an unspoken bond that exists between you and the woman you're flirting with. It builds anticipation, mystery, and excitement. Women are naturally drawn to men who can make them feel special and desired without needing to make it obvious. They appreciate subtlety and playfulness. Flirting doesn't just show that you're attracted to her, it shows you're capable of making her feel something in return. It's about creating a spark, and as I've shared, once that spark ignites, things start to unfold naturally. But here's my advice. Don't overthink it. Flirting isn't about being perfect or coming up with the right pickup line. It's about being yourself and learning how to read the signals. It's about understanding the fine balance between maintaining your professionalism and letting your attraction show in discreet, playful ways. The key to making flirting work is timing, knowing when to push forward and when to pull back. The best part of all this is that once you start using these techniques, your confidence will skyrocket. You'll start to see the way women respond to you change. there's a noticeable shift when you start flirting the right way. Women appreciate it because, at its core, flirting is a form of validation. You're showing her that you're interested in her, that you find her attractive, and that you're capable of creating a fun, flirty dynamic. And when you can do this, not only will you start attracting women more easily, but you'll also feel more comfortable in your own skin, more self-assured in your approach. Now, let me tell you a bit about how this has worked in my own life. I used to struggle with attraction. I was always the guy who felt a bit awkward in social situations, unsure of how to flirt or create that chemistry with women. But once I started focusing on body language and using subtle flirting techniques, my entire experience with women changed. I realized that the approach I had been using before wasn't making women feel attracted. It wasn't sparking anything. But once I learned how to playfully engage with them, how to use my body language to signal attraction without being pushy, things shifted. It's not about being the most charming guy in the room. It's about being confident enough to create that playful dynamic and let things unfold. Here's the thing. Flirting is not a shortcut to manipulation or playing games with someone's emotions. It's about connection. It's about creating an atmosphere where attraction can naturally develop. You don't need to have a script or follow specific steps for every woman you meet. Each interaction is different, and the ability to be spontaneous, fun, and engaging is what will set you apart. In summary, flirting is about using your confidence and body language to create attraction. It's about initiating playful, subtle interactions and making her feel special in a way that builds chemistry. Flirting doesn't need to be overt. In fact, the more discreet and playful, the better. And remember, as you gain confidence and learn how to use these techniques, you'll find that women respond to you in ways you may never have imagined. If you want to dive deeper into these techniques, I highly recommend checking out my ebook, The Flow, or listening to the audiobook. It's a step-by-step guide that will help you connect with women, make them feel attracted to you, and take things to the next level. You can also check out the Ultimate Guide to Conversation, which will help you master communication skills to engage women more effectively and make every conversation an opportunity to build attraction. Flirting is the shortcut to getting the attention of women and making them want you in a sexual way. Once you get the hang of it, you'll realize that it's not about being someone you're not. It's about tapping into your natural ability to create attraction in a playful, confident way. So start practicing, trust the process, and watch as your interactions with women change for the better. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video has helped you understand how to use flirting to your advantage.